How's it going, guys? So we're working on the E90 just a little bit today. It's pretty cold outside. It's been having issues starting while hot, and after doing some research we figured out the starter is probably getting bad. Where it kind of gets weird is the owner had the starter replaced in 2014. The car doesn't have many miles on it, just a few thousand miles on it since then. So I'm going to show you a few things about the starters on these E90s for the N52 and N54 engines that you probably need to know. Okay, so first things first, to replace the starter, you need to remove all the cowling and the intake manifold completely from the car. That's not really that bad of a job. Much easier to do on this than it is on the older engines, and the starter lays underneath there. You can barely see it through the openings. So this was replaced at a shop. I don't know what state it was, North Carolina, I think she said. And she has a receipt for the starter. Now, I just took my little light, looked down through there. The starter looks very rusty and very original. So I don't really know if a couple things are possible. Either one, they didn't actually replace it. There's always a possibility with any shop. They said they did and charged her for it. And two, they put a reman starter on it, which is almost just as bad. Okay, so the reason why a reman starter is bad, and we see this quite a bit with all cars. Let's give a scenario: buy a new starter from O'Reilly's or AutoZone. Okay, so unless you specifically ask for a new starter, which you're not going to want to pay the price for that, you're going to get a reman. All your Duralasts, I don't remember what the other one was, even your name brand, even a Bosch, they're sold as a Bosch starter, but they're reman. Well, the reman with the China parts. Having a lot of issues with this lately. Alternators are the exact same way. So you get on eBay or Amazon and you'll have Bosch or AC Delco starter or alternator, and it'll have like 1 star out of 5. And you read the comments, everybody says it doesn't work and it's total garbage, and it'll be $200 or $300 sometimes for one of those. And that's what's happening. People are buying a broken starter alternator, cleaning it up, remanning it, buying the $15 rebuild kit from China and rebuilding it. So what this car is doing, it's doing what a lot of those cheap starters do. It'll run fine, it'll start fine, no problems at all, until you drive it more than 10 minutes. Once the engine gets up to temperature, and I guess the heat from the engine gets to the starter and heats it up, and then it'll turn real slow. I'll try to insert a video here of that if I can find that again. That's pretty common. E90 isn't real common for a failing OEM starter. When those do fail, they just won't work at all. The solenoid will go bad. You hit the button to start it, or turn the key to start it, whatever you have, nothing will happen, or it'll just click and that'll be all. So this car has that issue. Now here's the trade-off of that. You can't go to the dealership and buy, well, you can go to the dealership and buy a new starter. You don't want to. I don't know what they cost, $300 to $500, something just totally off the wall ignorant. Now, there are reputable companies on Amazon and eBay that rebuild starters. They have very good feedback. They're aftermarket starters. They never try to state that they are a factory, and they use the rebuild kits that aren't the cheap ones. Those are the kind of starters you need to find. And I'll put some in the link on my Amazon store and link in the description, and you guys can look at it and be the judge for yourself. There's a lot of them on there that have really, really good feedback with a lot of reviews, 4.5 and 5 stars. And that's what you want to look for on that stuff. You want to look for, if they do have a bad review, what does it say? Either it didn't fit their car, or it was broken in shipping or lost in shipping. Those kind of reviews are okay. You don't want to buy something that has a ton of negative reviews, and at that point in time said put it on their car and it'll work for a week and stop working. That might be okay if you have something easy to replace a starter on. Even though the intake manifold is not hard to take off on these, you don't want to have to do it multiple times if you don't want to. And you know how it goes. It's not going to do it when it's at your house. It's going to do it when you're out in the middle of nowhere or far away from your house. Then it's going to stop working, then you have to do the job right there. So you don't want to have to do that. There will be a starter replacement video coming up in the near future on this. It looks like right now, or exactly what the pricing was, is around $65 for a just straight out aftermarket, legitimate, rebuilt starter that doesn't use China parts or crappy China parts, that has good feedback. So that's what you're going to have to look for on this. And just be sure before you get too excited, whenever you push your button to start it and nothing happens, don't be so quick to assume on an E90 that's a starter. There's many things that could be, depends on what transmission it has, what year it is. If it has a transmission cable still, that cable could be out of adjustment where the car doesn't, it thinks it's in a different gear other than park, and that could do it. Make sure your battery terminal connections are good and all that stuff too. So that being said, I think the owner has decided to sell this nice beautiful E90, and this is a 2007, 149,000 miles on it. We are going to do the starter, and it's calling for an oxygen sensor. Probably going to go ahead and do that too. I'm not sure what she wants to do. Other than that, this one has nav, everything like that, cold weather package, and it is the XI, so it is all-wheel drive. We're not really sure what it's worth. If you guys have any interest in it, it might be somewhere around the book value. I'm not really sure. It depends on where you're from and how much this car is worth. I think it's probably everything running correctly and tip-top. It's probably my guesstimation around a $5,000 car. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you're interested. We are in Missouri, just a little south of St. Louis, if that helps you out any. And that's it. I guess we're going to order a starter for this the next day or so and get it in and put it in, because right now I wouldn't trust to drive this car anywhere with the starter the way it's acting. And last time I drove it 15 minutes away, didn't want to start. The starter was failing. So we'll do that. We'll have a video up on it for you guys that are looking to do this to your car also. And I'm going to stop talking. That's it. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good day.